me being the coach, you being the athlete, and how we put this thing together. And obviously, you mentioned, your highlight film and how important that is. Now let's talk about how you set your highlight film up. Now you tell me and tell the audience how you did it, and I'm going to explain from a coach's point of view what we're looking for. So go ahead and do that.
So the coolest thing I was told from a highlight standpoint, and this was my head coach, is I think before junior year, he pulled me aside and he goes, what you need to think about this year is when you're making plays is you need to make plays where you don't even need to circle yourself before the play. So I don't know if you've seen a lot of highlights, but you highlight yourself and it's like, you know who you are. But the way that instilled in my mind is like, I'm making plays where they already know who I am. Like deep ball, they know it's me, whatever. So when I started designing my highlight reel, for sure, put all your best plays at the front. Second thing, do not make it too long. They're probably not watching the whole reel, honestly. They're probably watching a minute to 90 seconds of it, if that. Another thing I did that I liked, I haven't seen a lot of people do this, is the highlight reel started and I put like an image of me, my height, weight, all my stats, all my accolades, like all CIF, all league, whatever. So they just had that right away. Because sometimes they're not reading the whole text. They're just clicking the link, and that's more than likely. Then don't put all the flashy circles that take like 5 seconds. They don't want to see any of that. Cut the plays down so it's just bang, bang, quick, play after play after play. They want to see touchdowns. They want to see big plays. And then don't waste your time on plays that are average. Put all the plays that would take you to the next level and translate. And then another thing, I mean, obviously I didn't play other positions, but for receiver at least, they want to see speed. Put speed on that highlight reel. They want to see physicality. They want to see breaking tackles. They want to see high pointing the ball. All the things you think they're looking for in a receiver, definitely put. And I'd say that go for anything. If you're a quarterback, show off your arm talent. If you're a DN, show off your strength, show off your speed, show off your technique. So I'd say that's all important. Another thing that a coach told me early on in the process that was cool is on your Twitter, screen record your highlight reel and put it in your Twitter and pin it. Because a lot of the times, coaches aren't clicking the link because maybe they're at an airport, there's bad Wi-Fi, they're clicking the link, it doesn't work, it takes forever to load, they have 2 seconds, it doesn't load, they're like, all right, next one. You missed an opportunity. Maybe that coach would have changed your life, but you missed the opportunity. So by having it there where it's just constantly playing, maybe they see that first play because, like I said, your best plays are at the front. They see that first play and they're like, who is this? So I had that pinned and it would get a ton of views and sometimes coaches would reach out because of it. So I would recommend put that link or put that highlight reel everywhere you can because you never know who's going to see that first play that blows a coach away. So I think that's probably everything I had on the highlight reel. Yeah, just none of that stupid circles like the watch this or any of that on Huddle. Oh, and then don't do any dumb music. None of that. They don't want to see any of that. They just want professionalism. They're watching a million highlight reels a day. They don't need to see any like stuff that would make them think twice about you.
Yeah. It's really interesting when I run into young student athletes and I'm like, whether a kid said, hey, go check out my friend, or I'm just scrolling through and I see a kid and I look at your avatar and I'm going to talk about what, like I said, what I'm looking for and what coaches look for at the highest levels. But you see somebody, oh, he's a football player. He looks big. Okay. So then you click on their profile and then there's nothing on there. If there's anything I can tell a young student athlete, stop not putting your name on. If you're serious, okay, listen, now I'm going to get fired up here. So if you are serious about being a next level student athlete, you have to treat your entire life when it comes to communicating to coaches as such. If I go on your freaking profile and I see A money or T money, or I don't even know what your name is, I'm not recruiting you because I don't know what your name is.
100%.
Right? There's a lot. It's like, I get it. You have however many followers. I'm not one of them. I'm not going to be one of them. It's like, my goal as a coach is I'm recruiting you, Daniel, to be better than the guys I got right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking to out recruit those guys. And so like you mentioned about speed and you want to have your highlights, everything needs to be very specific to your position. And that's 100% correct. But if I can't actually get past your profile to recruit you, we've got a problem. Or not me, because I don't care. I got thousands of guys I'm dealing with, right? I'm going to the next guy. Now, a lot of times these coaches, they're not necessarily recruiting, or they're not going on social media to recruit receivers only, because that's not how it works. You're just looking for guys, and then you say, whoa, look at that, and then move forward with the process.
Yeah.
So what I'm telling kids, it's like, when first of all, the picture need to be some sort of sporty picture. It has, it has to be something that's going to draw my attention right away. If you're a receiver, running back, put that on there, and get me to stop. I talked about this on the last podcast I was on, and get me to stop in my tracks. I'm always recruiting. Coaches are always recruiting. Stop already. They don't care about their family stuff. If they're on social media, they're on social media to find recruits. Coaches are crazy. That's all they do 24/7. Coaches are a different breed. So they're looking to find anything that can distract them from whatever they're doing. Keep in mind, it's also entertainment too. So when you're going down and they click on your highlights, they want to be like, damn, let's keep this rolling. They don't want to be like, this guy's 5'7", this is a joke.
Yeah.
But you always got to make sure you got a good avatar. You got to have your name on there. You got to have your email. You got to have all your contact information. Here's one thing kids screw up on. Here's the don'ts, right? Obviously, you'll have a situation where they'll have their name. Okay, we're good. Now give me your height and weight. Give me your position. If that stops right there, awesome. Now I can message you and say, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Get your highlights on there. Now we're moving forward in the conversation here with you about highlights. Your highlights need to be your absolute best right away. And it's not to be long. I just talked to one of my buddies who was with Michigan, coaching with Michigan. And I asked him, I said, so when we're talking about recruiting, you guys are dealing with thousands of student athletes, and they're the top athletes. What is your recruiting guy? What is he doing when he's looking at film, and what does he look for? He goes, just so you know, he's like, my guy will put his headphones in and he'll be listening to music or a podcast while he's watching film. Yeah. Watching kids film. And if you've got music on there and you've got all this flash or whatever you think is interesting, it's not interesting to a coach. They don't care. It's not going to draw their attention. When I'm in the war room, as we call it, and we're around all the coaches, we're all watching the film. So say you jumped off the table in your film, we all put it on mute. We don't care about all that crap, because the first thing that Huddle does, they've got advertisements, they got all this stuff. We don't have any interest in that crap. It probably, honestly, I would almost push kids away from Huddle to a certain degree. And maybe I should start a new thing, because coaches just, it's so frustrating because it's Huddle's fault. Huddle's got all those advertisements and stuff, and it really kills the process. But making sure you've got your absolute best from the start to the finish, which should only be about 3 to 5 plays. Coaches have short attention spans, and just like anybody, they got short attention spans. And so it's one of those things when you're setting up your highlight film. Well, first of all, to get their attention, you got to have all your social media dialed in. Every single coach is on Twitter. When they get hired at a school, they're all on Twitter. Doesn't matter. They're all on Twitter. And just making sure you have all that proper information with your link, with your communication, because they can't communicate if it's not on there. Kids don't even put an email on there. Like, it's just like, dude, I don't care about you holding money up. I don't care about all that stuff. Like, just give me just enough to make me interested, and now I'm on to you. So anyway, so that's kind of my rant, and it drives crazy.
I feel you.
It drives every coach crazy.